Hey everyone, welcome back. In this session, we're going to learn the conditional statement in JavaScript with some real-time use case. So let's get started. Let's read these two examples. One is if state is equal to pass, then do something. Second example, if state is equal to pass, again do something. Pretty much I'm reading the same thing, right? But what is the difference? The first one is having an assignment operator, and second one is having a comparison operator which will compare both the value as well as the type. So value here will be pass, the type will be string because it's been quoted as two quotes. So that's an important lesson. So anything that we pass as a condition to the if has to be evaluating to a boolean value. It should be either true or false. So that is what. So generally the any of the comparison operator will result in boolean value, true or false. But the first example won't, right? So that is the important lesson. Now let's have a look at the syntax. The first syntax is a very common and a basic syntax where if we have a condition, that condition has to be evaluating to a boolean value, either true or false. But if it is true, then it will execute statement 1. If not, then execute statement 2. It's a basic syntax, and again just reads like an English, right? Second one, it is a nested conditions where if this condition 1 is evaluating to true, then execute statement 1. If meaning that if it is condition 2 is evaluating to true, then you just do the second block of code, and then so on it goes on, and then finally if none of the conditions are met, then it will finally execute the else block, which is the statement as a lost. So this is the nested conditions. But what is the important thing, right? One is the condition whatever we pass should be evaluating to a boolean. That's number one. Number two, at any given point in time, this will always execute one block of code, which means anything that we surround with the curly braces has to be executed. That is a two important thing. Now the question is, when we talk about the condition which will evaluate to true or false, so some conditions, some values will always evaluate to false, which are the on the right side. So anything that we pass as false, undefined, null, zero, not a number, and empty string, all of these six values will evaluate to false by default. So anything other than this will all be true. That is an important point. Even in case of an empty object or empty array, that will still be a true. So that's when we write the code, when we write our automation code, obviously that point has to be kept in mind. Otherwise, we may make mistakes. Okay. So now let's have a look at the real-time use case where we're going to see a different use case where we will be using all of this. What if where will I use just a if? Where will I use just if not? Where will I use if and else if? Where will I use just if and else, and if else and nested callback? So for the purpose of this demo, I've taken a use case where let's assume that we are making a database query call to get some data. So based on that, we'll have to do some logic. Basically just my function name is validate db results. So I'm making a query. As part of the query, there I will get a response, obviously, right? When you execute a database query, then you get a response. So based on the response, I'm going to do different things. That's what the purpose of this demo. So in doing so, we will understand where we are using the different conditions. Okay, first thing is whenever we define a function, we always wanted to make sure that the parameters or arguments meeting our condition. Imagine that this query, whenever somebody passing this value query coming as an empty. So in that case, we will have to throw an error. So that's what we're going to say here. If query, I'm putting a negative condition, meaning that if this query is not true, which means it could be any of the false value, then just throw an error. I'm just using the standard JavaScript error, and then I'm going to say this given query is not valid. This is just an initial check. So this is where we are just using if not, meaning that if the query is not a valid type, then throw this error. That's what the first line is. Again, if you wanted to do something specific about it, if there is a query, which means if there is this query is evaluating true, which means any of the true values except for those six, then do something as well. You can also do likewise. So we have now learned where we can use if and if not. And so obviously in real-time use case, for example in automation, where we'll have to just deal with some of the pop-ups and alerts, right? In that case, it could be an optional thing. Sometime alert may come, sometime doesn't come it. So in that case, we can just put a condition. If the alert is displayed, then you click on it. Otherwise, don't do anything. So these are all some of the examples where we can handle some of the optional fields as well. So this is our first use case. So now let's assume that I'm executing the query. What we are going to do, just I'm not going to execute it now, but just as a conditional check. So let's assume that this, what could be the possible option? So when you execute a query, what are the possible options? Let's think about that. So we may get a result, first point, or we may not get the result. These are the two major block, right? One, the query may be wrong, or you are not able to connect to the database, whatever could be the reason. Another thing, we may get a result. Those are the two main blocks. So that's what I'm going to say. So how do I then assert, how do I confirm whether I get a response or not, right? For example, how do I say, for example, if I don't get any of this, there is no object at all, which means this DB result is having an undefined value. That's when I'm going to say, just there is an error executing the DB query. So how do I then make use of this? So how do I, because this is an object, how do I confirm whether this object is nothing, it is undefined or null? So we have a way to compare this, put a condition saying that we have an object as a uppercase one, object.keys. This will return any object that you pass within the key will return a number, the key string. As you can see here, key string is a return value. So we are going to pass this as a guy, assuming that I am executed the query. This is my result, and this guy is returning a number of keys, whatever keys within that. So currently I have a key, one key as a total records with the value as 100, but in real time it may be more than one values. So in this case, and then because this is returning a string array, the string array has an object, a property called length, and I'm going to say if the length is lesser than 1, which means there is an invalid record, then I'm going to again throw error, or just you can console this log, correct? So I'm going to put a console.log. I'm going to say error executing the query and no result returned. For example, some meaningful message. So this is the case where it does not give us any of the valid object, correct? So this is a one block. Control A, format it. Okay, so what are the other possibility? So this is a one condition. So next condition is, let's assume that it is coming up with some value, right? It could be total records as 1, 0 or whatever. So that is where we need to make further checking. For example, in my test case, I need to assert that it's always getting more than one record, right? So when we get a record, what are the possibilities again? Let's assume that we are in a place now where we are assuming that there is a valid response, but this could be internally anything. So what are the again possibilities? I may get a single zero record, number one. I may get just a one record, or maybe one more than one. So these are all the major three possibilities, right? I'm saying again, there is a possibility. So when you deal with the possibilities, again we have go with the inner loops, not inner conditions, right? So else block, if there is a response, meaning that there is something here, and then I'm going to do what I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to say if again this DB result is an object, and I'm just putting an object here, and then assuming that because we get the results, total recall is my key here, assuming this is just it is going to be, let's say that it is going to be 0 for some reason, right? It means that it is not returning, there is no valid record in the DB. So I'm going to say just a 0 result returned, no record returned. For example, just custom message, right? So this is going to tell me that when it executed the query, it's going to say that there is a 0 record returned. Let me close this properly. So this is console.log, and then I think I'm using the backtick and the symbol. So let me just close here, go with the constant this one and put it here, and then close this one. Now this is fine. So we are in a position to check whether if it is going to be just a 0 record, which means there is no valid result found in the DB, then we just printing here. What is the next condition? Else if, right? So these are all the internal condition. Else if this db.query could be just a one record, possibly yes, because these are all the possibilities of when we getting a result from a database. One could be just one. In that case, I'm going to say instead of just one record, I'm going to say here now just one record result, just one record returned. So this is what we are now using it. So when it comes to the else block, and this is going to check whether the number of values, so it's going to check this guy, and if it's going to be 0, then it's going to say no record result, meaning it's 0. If it is going to be 1, possibility then 1, and then another major block would be more than 1, right? So else if, again I'm going to put the same condition, and this time I'm going to compare and then say if it is going to be more than one record. So in here I'm putting it, but instead I'm going to say, instead of this equal triple equal to operator, I'm going to say more than, greater than or equal to, and then say 100. In this case I'm going to say just more than one record returned. These are all the possibilities, right? So if I just say more than one records returned, right? So now we have a story. Now we have a story where we are checking some data, but within that, what are the possibilities that this 100 could be? It could be 0, 1 or more than 1. So this will cover all of your possibilities. But finally what we are saying, because we are looping all the nested else if, and then I'm going to say finally, if there is nothing, anything, this value is not something that what we expected, I'm going to finally say some weird error occurred or whatever it is. I'm going to say unknown error in executing the DB. Correct? So what is our syntax here? So let's forget about this here else guy, but let's only look at this block of code. What it is saying. So I'm going to get the value of this guy, and if it is going to be 0, then this will be printing here. If it is 1, this printing here. If it is more than 1, it is going to printing here. I'm going to say this more than 1. But if none of this block is made, finally it's going to execute the else, and then okay, some unknown error occurred. But generally what could be the case? If in case of not a number, because we are all using the triple equal to, which means a strict equality comparison, if it is not going to be a number type, again this is going to throw the last portion of it. That's what the intention now. So by now we have understood how we can make use of the different blocks of code. Now let's execute it and then understand one by one. So the first thing is, in a positive case, if I execute at this point in time, it's going to complete, and which block will be executed? Because this is returning more than 1, so this we are going to expecting to see this guy. So now let's run it and see. Let me see whether I'm in here. Yes, node and then just conditional, whatever it is. I need to go inside the JS core and then now say this node, and then my file name is conditional statement. If I execute now, as we expected, it's saying that more than one record returned. So this is our positive case, right? But let's also look at the other possibility. Now let's make things failing, right? So first example, instead of this guy, I'm going to remove this. I'm putting a false value, which means in runtime it's going to be an empty string. Empty string is evaluating to false. Obviously this is a false, so it's going to throw this error, right? Let's execute this. Let's execute this guy, and then now we can see this is throwing an error saying given query is not valid one. Correct? This is the one possibility. Now let me put the query back. So we have executed this block now, correct? This block. And if it is less than 1, which means there is no record returned, I'm going to say this is 0. I don't have anything here. The length could be 0. We cannot actually just putting it here. And this means that it is nothing. There is no record returned at all. So I'm going to remove this completely and just putting an empty object. This means this object's key will not have any of the keys, obviously. And then here it's going to just return this guy. I'm going to say error executing this because there is something wrong with this. Now we can see error executing the query and no result returned because we don't have any valid key value pair within an object. That could be a possibility as well. So this will block this code. Now let's assume that we got result. Right, now let's go one by one. So if it's going to be just a 0, we are expecting to see just a no record return because it's just a 0 value. Now we can see no record return. That's because it is executing this block. Now if I increase this count to maybe let's say 10, then it's going to again go back to this record. But if I just put exactly 1, it's going to return that block of code. Now we can say just one record return. We have already seen if I put 100, it's going to say that more than one record return. So this is an example, a real-time example of where we can make use of the conditional statements, right? Thank you.